My Burbank Talks presents another edition of The Week That Was and The Week That Will Be, a weekly podcast featuring highlights and commentary on local events and issues taking place right here in Burbank. Now, let's see what's on today's agenda as we join our program.
Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody. Please sit down. Sit down. Thank you very much. Hello, Burbank. Craig Stewart here with you once again for another edition of The Week That Was and The Week That Will Be. Might be a little shorter edition this week because we got a lot of sports going on. So we want to make sure we stay up with the latest on the Dodgers, the Rams. We got the Chargers going on. It's all going on at once, isn't it? But as always, we have a humble request that you like this video and please subscribe to our channel so YouTube continues to recommend this video to others like yourself, and also think about a channel membership to support us here at My Burbank. Last week's Word of the Week winner was Kurt St. Louis. The word was starlight, but Kurt did not send his address in, so please, Kurt, send in your address. We want to send you a gift card. This week it's a gift card for $25 to Hill Street Cafe, so we want to send that to you. And we'll have another Word of the Week later in our show, so please continue to watch and listen. If you're not watching on our YouTube channel, we know you're listening to one of the podcast channels. We're also on 13 different podcast platforms, so we do get around. So last week on the YouTube channel, we uploaded the debate of Measure ABC. We had both Andy Cantwell from the Burbank Unified School District and Joel Schlossman, who is a staunch opponent of the measure, on the show. I think it went amazingly well, and hopefully it educated our listeners on the ballot measure, which is very important to everybody. So, once again, it's about the future of our schools, one way or another, I think it's something you need to really consider and think about. We also have the state measure 2, that's going to support the schools. So there's a lot going on school funding-wise. I'm proud of the work we also did on all the candidate podcasts. Every candidate who sent an email in and asked to be on was given a chance. There were times that I thought would be contentious because of some of my past views and opinions, but every candidate was very civil, and we got along very good, actually, and I was very thankful how things went. And, it's good to get to know some of these people. I did not back down in my questioning, and they gave straightforward answers each time. I did learn a lot from different candidates, and they really helped me formulate who I would vote for. As an independent, I am always looking for the best candidate and could not care less what the party is. If a candidate did not appear on any of our shows, it is because they never sent in an email and asked to be on it. Every show I asked, if you are a candidate and appear on the ballot in Burbank for any office, please send me an email and I will have you on the show. I was not going to beg candidates or chase after them. The fact that some did not inquire or did not care enough to send that email tells me they're out of touch with Burbank or the voters. You can make your own conclusions there. I think most people in Burbank know that we are the Burbank's leading news source, and Burbank does come to us for what's going on. Our website has 70,000 views a month. We have 80,000 social media followers, and our videos here are picking up too. We had hundreds of people watching our videos, plus hundreds of people listening to the podcast also. So, it only did a candidate good beyond there. And the goal was not to make a candidate look bad. The goal was to ask candidates tough questions. So I think we did that, and I'm very, very proud of the work we put into it. We also posted a podcast on the Media District Specific Plan being presented to the Planning Commission tonight. That's a very contentious thing once again. The full draft is online. I had John and Jenny go through it, and I did about a 30-minute podcast talking about it. They probably gave it too good of a positive light, in my opinion, but I think it's something that if you want to know the specific plan in 30 minutes, it's a great podcast to listen to. It's also on the YouTube channel as an audio-only podcast, so give that a listen. Not really much went on last week. It was a quiet week. we like quiet weeks. On Friday night, we had Friday Night Lights. They saw Burbank High School beat Hoover 61-22. On the other hand, though, Burroughs fell to Muir 50-6 in a game they told me was not even that close. So that's too bad. I know that Muir's probably going to win the Pacific League, but Burroughs and Burbank are both in contention for playoff spots. So the big game later this year should really come down and mean something. That's about it for a quiet week last week. We like quiet weeks, but that's about it. So let's take our commercial break, and we're going to be back with you in about 30 seconds.
Enjoying the show right now? Thinking you may want to do your own podcast? Viber Rate Talks is renting out our podcast studio on an hourly rate. You can do audio podcasts or both audio and video, and even bring in guests to talk with. We will help you get set up on podcast platforms and start a YouTube channel, and we can edit your productions to make you look and sound your very best. If you are interested, please drop us an email at studiorentals@myburbank.com. That's studiorentals@myburbank.com, and we will get back to you. Now, back to our show.
Yes. Okay, I get it. I hear you. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Thank you once again. Always appreciate it. Got to fix that applause sign that keeps going off and people keep applauding. What can I tell you? So once again, Craig Sherwood back with you for the My Burbank Command Center. But some of you say, you know what? Enough of the Command Center. Well, if that's the case, let's go. Let's go on a ride through Burbank. You ready? Okay. Put on your seatbelts. So today, they're going to shut down the signals at First and Orange Grove. And that's between 8:30 and 3:30 today. They'll be conducting electrical work, switching signal wiring, and installing signal poles at the intersection. So they've been doing this all throughout Glen Oaks and everything, so it's just a matter of now they're getting to that intersection. They'll put stop signs up. Please, obey the stop signs. Obey the stop signs. Slow down. Don't run over workers. Don't hit other cars. You'll get there. Don't worry. Later today, the planning board will meet at 6 p.m. at City Hall. They will get a report on the downtown parking plan. They're also, and by the way, the parking plan is one with the parking meters in San Fernando. So they're talking about all that right now, and they're going to report on it. So they're also getting a presentation on the status of the Media District Specific Plan. See, I'm actually saying that a lot better now. I'm actually learning how to say that without being a tongue twister. Something you should really watch the presentation by city staff. As I said before, we have a 30-minute podcast we put onto the platforms and the YouTube channel where John and Jenny broke it all down. Might be a little too nice to it at times, but they still broke it down in 30 minutes to really talk about all the different aspects of it. It's a very complicated document. So, moving on to Tuesday night, we have the City Council is going to meet at 6 p.m. at City Hall. On the consent agenda is a $466,000 contract to perform citywide homeless outreach services and security services at city parks and libraries. They're doing that because of all the problems with some homeless people. I'm sure we call it homeless challenged, battling the home. There are too many politically correct names for it. It's homeless people who need help. Simple as that. We're going to spend a lot of money on that, though. $600,000 is a lot of money. I really hope they come out and help these people get solutions. Not just give them, we'll drive you to a center, we'll this or that. These people need permanent help. So that's the problem. So let's hope we can really do something to help them in that kind of, that kind of a thing. The City Council is also going to review the community outreach results regarding a potential rent cap. So you had the meetings. We had numerous meetings where you had city staff. Our city attorney was there. They answered the questions. They answered a lot of questions. They were there. A lot of people showed up to the meetings. We have one of our meetings on the YouTube channel. So you go back and watch one of the meetings and watch the presentation. and watch what was said. We even have the questions by the people there. I think you'll find that very interesting. The rent cap is something I think we're going to have to deal with in a while, though. We've got 2 propositions coming up that are dealing with rent caps as it is. If those propositions pass, what will that do to the rent caps we're thinking about putting together? So I think we need to kind of watch how the election goes and incorporate the results of that election into what we're going to do. So, once again, no easy answers. We'll find out. Let's move on to Wednesday. Wednesday, the Police Commission will meet at 6 p.m. at City Hall. They'll get a report about the top 3 hotspots for crime in Burbank. Let me guess. Must be Walmart, must be Target, must be Costco. Oh, wait, that's all called the Empire Center. All those places are part of the Empire Center. It's the crime mecca of Burbank. Once again, go to our YouTube channel, look up Crime Mecca. We did an entire video about the crime at the Empire Center. You should take a look at it. It gives you all the stats. It'll tell you year after year. It tells you all the crime is coming from outside the area. It's not coming from inside Burbank. Coming from outside the area. People who live are coming to Burbank for the crime. And they've put in cameras at the Empire Center that read license plates. Okay, they read the license plates there. So they know if they've arrested somebody in a car and they had the registration of that car, they know if that person's back there again. Now, the Empire Center, they've bought over 40 more of these cameras too, and they're going to put them all throughout Burbank. You're talking Buena Vista, you're talking Fountain Way, you're talking Magnolia, you're talking Glen Oaks, you're talking all the streets here. They're going to put in these license plate readers, so they're going to see when these bad guys keep coming back to Burbank, we'll have to know who they are. If cars are, have been caught speeding, and we get them on those license plate readers, they're speeding again, we're going to know about it. There's a lot of information. I haven't got into it yet, but there's a lot those cameras are going to tell us. So I think it's something, that's a very interesting thing. We'll find out more about the cameras as they get put in. But I know there's a couple of cameras at the Empire Center right now that are actually recording license plates. So, repeat crime, we're watching. Big Brother is always watching, though. Isn't that the truth? The problem is we need a substation there. That's the bottom. We need to put a substation in the Empire Center. We need to have dedicated officers who are there while the center's open and free up these officers from having to patrol areas to come in to keep arresting people so the DA can keep letting them go so then they keep coming back again and we get the license plate reader and then we go arrest them again. You tell me. The commission asked for one of the 3 hot spots of crime. And so, of course, the Empire Center. I'm sure it's the town center also. We always hear a crime going on there. I would like to tell you there's more going on, but we don't hear any more. Will they make any recommendations? I doubt it. They'll just want the report. Oh, thank you very much for the report. Moving on. So I doubt it. After that will be the Chief's PR moment of the month. That's all that is. It's a PR moment of the month. The chief talks about how great everything is. Of course, no crime happens in Burbank. We can't hear it on the radios because they banned us from listening to them on the radio. And now they put out maybe 1 or 2 press releases a month. The last one we got was a couple of weeks ago for a water and power truck that was stolen. And the last time I saw it was on a freeway going into L.A. So they want people in Burbank to be on the lookout for that in L.A. That's the last release we got. So I guess no other crime happens in Burbank. Burbank is great town, USA. No crime. Nothing to see here. Keep moving on. I don't know. It's disappointing. When you keep... And I'll tell you what, every time I hear the word transparency, don't believe it. Do not believe that word. That's the buzzword, transparency. I'd like to know what the definition of transparency is in the Burbank Police Department. Because I'll tell you what, good luck finding out anything anymore. Until it happens to you, of course. Okay, enough of that. Moving on. And by the way, we're going to investigate into the police, not investigate, I should say, bad word. We're going to talk to the police commission a little more. I'd like to get their chairman on for a podcast and have a great podcast with him and talk about the police commission, what he thinks their role is, what they should be doing. I think it'd be a very interesting podcast. So I'm going to reach out to him. I had a long talk with him at Community Share Relay one day. Very nice man. And I think he's been elected the chairman of the police commission now 3 times in a row. So that's unheard of. And that means they respect him a lot. So I would love to sit down one-on-one with him and get some information and at least get my views out there and listen to his views. Okay, let's move on to Friday. The Hunt and Adventure Laboratory of Lost Souls will finish its run on Friday and Saturday at the Starlight Bowl. But why not next week, as Halloween is over a week away? You had it last weekend, you have it this weekend, but why not the weekend after? I don't get that. Come on, Park and Rec. Why not have it before Halloween? The weekend before. That's when you get the buzz going. What can I tell you? Saturday, here's something interesting. The Floating Pumpkin Patch at Verdugo Pool. There'll be Halloween games and activities will be available throughout the event. The activity includes pumpkin harvesting. Advanced registrations required. I think it's like $5, but you got to register in advance. I guess they need to know how many pumpkins to get or how much chlorine to put in the pool or whatever it's going to take. I don't know. So it looks like a neat event. So check into that. But advanced registration is required. Sunday, we have an event on Sunday even. Wild Creatures Walk from 11:30 to 12:30 at Starlight Canyon Nature Center. You can join them on this dusty-led hike and learn about the Verdugo Mountains and the wildlife that calls the mountains home. Let's hope the hike does not include running into a mountain lion, a cougar, a bear, a coyote, even a raccoon. I mean, what they're going to learn up there, I'm not sure. So, but hopefully they're not going to get themselves in a bad situation. So that's just it's a strange hike. If you're going up there to hike and talk about those things without seeing them, hopefully you look for their tracks in the dirt. I'm not really sure. Might be interesting. If I had any good knees left, I might even go up there and go through it too, just to see what the heck they're talking about. Okay. That leaves us one thing and one thing only, and that's Craig's comment. And this week, it's about political advertising and who pays for the ads. But we're talking about follow the money here. So we had one of our readers sent in a letter to the editor saying he got an ad in the mail for 2 candidates, and it had all this information on there about the crime in Burbank and this in Burbank, that in Burbank. And the flyer had pictures that were not even in Burbank. Now, this was done by a PAC. The candidates had nothing to do with this. They had no knowledge of it. The PACs can do whatever they want to do. As long as they register with the state and they put their number on the bottom of the mailer, they can kind of say whatever they want to say. And they do without candidates' permission. I guarantee you the 2 candidates involved on that mailer, if they would have known about it, would not have approved that. While their positions are strong on in areas, they don't want just malicious stuff said. And that's the problem with these PACs. That's the problem with all this advertising. When you get ads in the mail, look to see who paid for them. If it's not by the candidate himself or herself, then where is it coming from? It's outside interest trying to do things in Burbank for whatever their agenda is. And I guarantee you, our candidates don't say, oh, boy, you did this for me, I owe you a favor. That's not how I know a lot of these people. That's not how they operate. But it's just sad when these outside people have to get into it. And it's going to be a big time election coming up. What? Wait a second. You know what I forgot? The word of the week. So you know what the word of the week's going to be? It's going to be election. There we go. I love to hit the old sound effect for election. And of course, what that means is, as the word of the week, send in an email and the subject line put election. and we will give a $25 gift card to one of our listeners. So we always appreciate you listening. Thank you. Anyhow, let's get back to the election and to the money. Watch the ads on television. They're even getting trickier and trickier now. At the bottom of every ad on television, they're supposed to put down who the major funding is for that ad. And some of these are using like the California Apartment Association or they always make up names. And now the landlords are making up names that sound like the people they're trying to help, which they're not. I don't care which way you vote on these things. I don't care if you're a landlord or a tenant. But, why is it we get to elections? We're trying to be as dishonestly honest as we can be. We're trying to throw things one way or another. We're being deceptive. Why? Why is this allowed? The only reason of putting the major funding on these things was actually to find out who's sponsoring it. But now they're making up names that I guarantee that name will be on the day after the election on November 6th. They'll be gone. That name's going to be gone. The organization's going to be gone. It's all going to be gone. So, follow the money. Read the propositions. Read them. Ask yourself questions. Is this good or bad? It's your vote. But please, 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 you must vote. There is no excuse for not voting when you have a ballot mailed to your house that you have to put a couple little marks into, you put back in an envelope, and hand it to your postman. If you can pay your credit card bill every month, you can sure as heck vote. That's all it takes. So I'm a very huge proponent in that. It's the way I do my Burbank. It's why we do all this. I like being involved in my city government. I like being involved in what's going on in my city. I've never missed an election. I vote in every single election. Sometimes I vote for community college guys. That's the only guy on the ballot when you had to go to a polling place and actually do it. I would go. Voting is important. So please, vote. That's my biggest thing. So that's it for Craig's comment. As always, we appreciate you maybe listening to the car and on the podcast platforms. And we're on 13 podcast platforms besides the YouTube channel too. So some of you watch it. Some of you guys just turn it on the background. Thank you. Please consider getting a channel membership. That would really help us a lot. You want to throw a couple dollars towards my Burbank, that is how you help us on a monthly basis. It doesn't take a lot out of your pocket. There's 3 different levels. Also, subscribe to the channel or like this video. Those are free things to do. They don't cost you anything. They just help us. So, we love putting this information out for you. We hope that you enjoy receiving it. And that's about it. So, that's it for the week that was and the week that will be. This is Craig Sherwood saying thank you very much, and we will talk to you next week.
Thank you for watching the latest My Burbank video. If you have it in your heart, please consider helping us by clicking on the super thanks down below. Or even better, go to our channel and consider a membership. Your support is what keeps My Burbank going strong.